Hi, my name is Lisa Gerhardt, and I'm the program coordinator at Wheaton High School. Today, we want to share with you the pathway options for each of the students in our Wheaton Edison program. This information is important because as they go through the registration process in a couple of weeks, they'll need to make some choices about which courses they want to take. In this presentation, we will review what it means to be a Wheaton Edison student, share the pathway options, review the timeline for registration, and the decision making that needs to happen for that. We also have a form that we would love for you to complete that helps us to understand which courses and how many students want to take of each course. This is critical for us so that we can begin the staffing process and allow seats for other students that are interested in it. The Wheaton Edison program was started 2 years ago, and students were selected to come. We call it the WE program here at Wheaton, and at some point they have to take courses at Thomas Edison. All students will continue to be students at Wheaton High School and will spend part of their day at Thomas Edison. You'll remember that Edison and Wheaton share a bus loop, and so students will be able to move easily between the two schools. One thing to remember is that the first goal for every student is to make sure that they are able to graduate from Wheaton High School and they can be a high school graduate. Once students have completed those requirements, it's important that students complete a program of study. Each of these programs will allow students to be a program completer at Thomas Edison. And depending upon how many courses and credits the students come in with from middle school, some of them will be able to be program completers at Wheaton and at Edison. Students have already had lunchtime meetings where they met with me and Miss Heather Bradley, who you'll see in a minute. And these lunchtime meetings were to share the pathway options that we're sharing with the parents tonight. They've heard about these options, and some of them have begun to meet with their counselors to register or to ask questions about what they need in order for graduation. By January 5th, and we know that's really soon, we need the interest form completed by each student. Students in the WE program are given a reserved space at Edison, and Edison needs to know how many seats are reserved in which programs. We're happy to speak with you individually to help you make the best decision for your child, and we understand that this process can be very confusing.
On this side, we'll take a moment to review some frequently asked questions. Students might be curious where Edison classes will be taught. Those classes will all be taught on the Edison campus, which is just up the bus loop from Wheaton High School. It is a short walk from Wheaton to Edison. Students may also be curious if they are guaranteed a spot at Edison, as Edison is normally an application program. Yes, all of our students in the Wheaton Edison program have a guaranteed spot at Edison, even for those programs that typically are extremely competitive to get into. Students, as planned, will always graduate from Wheaton High School, which is their home school. Can students still take academy classes at Wheaton? As long as they fit into your schedule, you can absolutely take additional academy classes at Wheaton. This is a conversation to have with your counselor. Should a student not want to take classes at Edison, that student will be assigned back to their home school. Their participation in the academy is such that they are a Wheaton Edison student. Within the DCC, those students would attend the high school that they were assigned to in the spring of their 8th grade year. Should you have any further questions, please feel free to contact Ms. Gerhardt, who is the program coordinator at Wheaton High School, at the information listed on the slide. You may also contact me, Ms. Heather Bradley, program coordinator at Thomas Edison, at the number listed on the slide.
Almost all of the course pathways offer students multiple pathways and choices of what they want to study. This was intentional to allow students to get the most out of their high school education. Let's start looking at each program. Feel free to fast forward to your child's specific pathway. We will do them in the orders listed here. The first pathway we'll look at is AOIT and cybersecurity. Now, students at Wheaton are part of the Academy of Information Technology and take at least one programming class before attending Thomas Edison. One of the exciting changes that this partnership has brought is a one-period cybersecurity course. Normally, when students take cybersecurity at Edison, it is a triple period, meaning that it uses up 3 courses and 3 class periods each day. With these options, the cybersecurity course is broken up into a single period course and a double period course. These can be taken separately and over the 2 years, which allows more flexibility in a student's schedule. Students can also choose to take the network ops pathway, which is where students will build computers and learn about how to network computers. These are the certifications that each student can get through their coursework at Edison. This is an industry standard certification that many companies require before hiring an employee. So you can see the benefit to going and applying for a job and already having the certification. On this slide, you can see the handout that each of your children received from me last week. On the left column is the graduation requirements that each student needs to have based on what the state of Maryland says. On the right side, you can see a suggested pathway. The shaded parts of the pathway are the options for this particular program. So you can go through and see what classes your child has taken in the 9th and 10th grade, and then what class options there are in the 11th or 12th grade. One thing to keep in mind is that students in the 11th grade can choose Network Ops, which is a triple period. Then they can choose in their senior year cybersecurity or the double period or the triple period, or they could do an internship or take courses from MC. They can also choose, the second option is to do cybersecurity fundamentals, which is a single period course. And that's new this year, but it's the one single period class. And then they can, if they choose to like it, if they continue to like it, they can take the double period course their senior year. If they choose and say they don't want to do that, or they need more time in their schedule to take classes for graduation, they can choose to take AP Computer Science A, which is the Java course, at Wheaton, and then in their 12th grade year, they will have to go to Edison, either for options 1 or 2, cybersecurity capstone or cybersecurity, the triple period. Students can also choose to do the cybersecurity fundamentals course and AP Java, so they can choose option 2 and 3 in the 11th grade if their schedule allows. Students in the Global Studies pathway have access to 2 high-energy pathways at Edison, including restaurant management and the hospitality and tourism program. Students in these programs earn their industry licensures while working toward running a fully operational restaurant located within Edison in the 4th quarter. On this slide, you can preview the certifications that students can earn in both of these programs. These certifications are industry standard and required for any industry job at any level, whether they're working as a chef, a restaurant manager, or even the hospitality director of a major hotel. This slide is the same as the handout your child received from me last week. On the left-hand column is the graduation requirements that each student needs based on the state of Maryland. On the right side, you can see the suggested pathway. The shaded sections are the pathway options for hospitality, tourism, and/or restaurant management. As you look at this, you can see that students in the 11th grade year can choose to go to restaurant management, which is a 1-year program. It's a triple period. Or they can choose hospitality tourism, which is a 1-year program, which is a triple period. Or they can choose to continue at Wheaton. If they continue to choose to stay at Wheaton in the 11th grade year, they will have to choose option 1 or 2 in their senior year. For example, a student can say, I'm really interested in restaurant management, but I'm not really interested in hospitality and tourism. They could go and do the restaurant management option in 11th grade, and they could get an early release schedule or do an internship or take additional classes in their senior year from MC. Likewise, a student who really wants to do hospitality or tourism can do that in the 11th grade and then do an internship their senior year and not do the restaurant management. The key here is that the students need to choose one, and it doesn't matter if it's done in the 11th or the 12th grade year. Or they can choose both, doing one in the 11th grade year and 1 in the 12th grade year. Students in the bioscience and healthcare professions pathway have guaranteed access to an applied sciences health professions pathway at Edison. The Wheaton Edison students will take a single period course through which they will earn their CCNA, or their Certified Clinical Nurses Assistant license, through the state of Maryland. During their senior year, students will experience clinical rotations and earn their CNA, or their Certified Nursing Assistant license, also through the state of Maryland. On this slide, you can preview the summary of the certifications. These are state board licensures with the Department of Health. And with these certifications, students can apply for jobs with these titles so they can find a job for a certified nursing assistant. And they are able to provide, at the end of it, they'll be able to provide some levels of patient care. This slide is the same handout as your child received during their recent academy meeting. On the left column is the graduation requirements that each student needs. On the right side, you can see the suggested pathway. The shaded sections are the pathway options for the Wheaton-Edison Partnership students in the Bioscience Academy. All students will take and must pass the Principles of Biomedical Science and Human Body Systems in the 9th and 10th grade classes. These two classes help to cover some of the information to help them with the CCMA. The CCMA will be a single period class in their 11th grade year, and then in their 12th grade year, they can obtain their clinical nursing assistant, which includes a clinical rotation in their senior year. That's a triple period class in their senior year. Students have the option also to take a course called Honors Physics for bioscience students. All students have to take physics. This is a great way for them to do it because it's designed to apply to more bioscience students in the human body. Lots of our students in the Bioscience Academy choose to take this physics because it's more relatable than just a regular honors physics class. And students that can also fit it into their schedule, and I know there's not many that can do this, can also choose to take AP Biology in their 11th grade year, which also really helps to solidify and understand some of that, the biology that somebody in the healthcare profession might want. But that's only if they can fit it into their schedule. AP Biology is a double period class, so that's not easy to do.
Students in the Engineering Academy have two pathway options at Edison. Students may explore architecture or the construction trades. We'll begin by discussing the architecture pathway. Students in the architecture pathway will take a double period architecture course during their junior and senior year of high school, during which they will become certified in both AutoCAD and Revit design tools. For current freshmen who wish to pursue the construction trades pathway, they will take a single period survey course titled Foundations of Building Construction Technology during their sophomore year. In their junior year, those students will specialize in one of the trades and will take a year-long triple period course in which they are fully immersed in the design, build, and construction management processes of the student-built house. Current sophomores will select a triple period specialty course in the construction trades. These courses include HVAC, electricity, plumbing, masonry, or carpentry. They will continue their study and their specialization through their senior year. Both of these pathways provide for a variety of industry certifications. In architecture, students are certified in AutoCAD and Revit, and these are designed standards in the architecture industry. In construction, our national partnership with the National Center for the Construction Education and Research provides opportunities for student certification in basic safety or core, level 1 and level 2 of their trade-specific specialization, OSHA 10 safety certification, and in their senior year, students have the opportunity for dual enrollment in the construction management program at Montgomery College. This slide shows the program graduation plan for a student in the Engineering Academy pursuing the architecture pathway. As you can see, during their freshman year, the typical student will take Introduction to Engineering Design, or IED. In their sophomore year, they will take Principles of Engineering, or POE. During their junior and senior years, they will come over to Edison High School to take their double period architecture courses. For those students in the class of 2024 who are pursuing the construction trades pathway, they have a similar coursework in their 9th and 10th grade year in that they take IED followed by POE. And then in 11th and 12th grade, they take triple period construction trades coursework in their specialty of choice, either HVAC, electricity, plumbing, masonry, or carpentry. For our freshmen who are members of the class of 2025, it looks a little bit different. They will take IED in grade 9. They will take FBCT in grade 10, which is a single period survey course. In grade 11, they will take their triple period construction course. And then in grade 12, they have a variety of options, including a capstone course at Wheaton High School. They can take a dual enrollment course at Montgomery College, or they can have a work-based learning experience coordinated through the internship coordinator at Wheaton High School. Should you have any further questions, please do not hesitate to reach out to myself, Heather Bradley, or my counterpart, Ms. Lisa Gerhardt, at the information listed below. I am the program coordinator at Thomas Edison High School of Technology, and Ms. Gerhardt is the Academies coordinator at Wheaton High School.